Alright, welcome back to another video. I think this is the one that just like will tie it all back together. If you guys have been around here for a long time, you know I haven't been around here for a while. If you're new around here, welcome to the new video where you're gonna pretty much get updated on everything that's happened in the last 3 months and why I'm sitting in front of this shop building. We got a lot to share, a lot to update. Don't worry, Ivan made it back. Let's get to this. All right, obviously the first thing we're gonna have to start with is the shop. We've got a shop. So this building right behind me was built in 1959. It was previously owned by a lumber company, a tree service company up here in the Adirondacks, and now we are going to be using it to build out rigs, do videos, do solar installs, do camper remodels, all the normal fixings. So I'll quickly give you a little update because obviously that is what's in the thumbnail and that's kind of the whole big update and why I've not been online, is this building. It's a red iron old building. It's 60 by 30, so it's a full open inside. There's no pillars inside. Yeah, this is where we've been. Now I'm gonna get into way more detail on the shop and we're gonna totally talk about what's already happened here. If you can't tell, there's a whole bunch of mud. There's a backhoe over here. So this is honestly really the end of the story. This is where we just ended up about a month ago. But the beginning of the story, where most of you know we left off, is with Ivan out in Colorado. So we're gonna go back to Ivan in Colorado and then work our way back to current present time. And hopefully by the end of this, everyone will be updated on exactly what's been going on and kind of where we're headed in the future, because obviously we've got some big plans. So last time I believe we saw Ivan, we were out in Colorado at Jimmy's. We were finishing up the trailer build, and then Rick and I were gonna be heading down to Southern Colorado at Rosita, and then heading back to New York. Obviously the video never went up, and the reason is because when we got to Rosita, it kind of was intended to be kind of a personal trip where Rick was gonna go see some old family places and kind of visit some old friends, and the trip just kind of turned into a direction that I decided that it just shouldn't be posted. There was just something that was filmed, but it just wasn't meant to be put out there. It was a memory for Rick, and I had a discussion with him and we just decided that that part of the trip shouldn't be filmed. I'll show you a little bit of footage about the location where we found the exact spot where Rick's dad painted a photo. All right, so Rick's dad painted this in 1986, and we believe that his father painted that photo from somewhere within probably 50 feet or 100 feet of this location right here. Ivan did great. We got to boondock a good bit. Rick had a great time. Got to see his family's old place. Now Ivan's back here at the shop. This is going to be one of the future projects, of course. The shop has taken a lot of my attention over the last 2 months, just trying to get it up and running. But we do have to finish the bathroom, put in the solar system, finish up the mini split, and then just clean up a couple things. And this bus is going to be kind of good to go. So after Colorado, I did get Ivan back to New York, and then I pretty much immediately got on a plane. I went down to Florida. I got a phone call from one of our friends down in Florida. They had a few solar installs that needed to be done. So I ended up flying down to Florida for about a month and a half, doing these installs, helping out on these projects, and then finally getting back up here to New York. The best part is that the day that we got back to New York, that was the day that we pretty much moved into the shop lot. So it went from like absolute craziness to somehow absolute more craziness, and here we are. So when we got on the lot, it looked absolutely nothing like it does right now. Pretty much, when you see all the different photos, from these trees all the way to about here was just a pile of metal. I ended up actually pulling 4,000 pounds of metal out. Over here, where you see these big dirt berms and stuff, that was like 10 foot farther out into the driveway and like 6 foot high of just dirt, and it's now just been spread out over the entire lot. All right, Dale, I don't have my camera.
Uh-oh.
I don't have my real camera. This is my phone, but
Door's locked.
well, could have expected that one. I have no clue where my camera is. Dale and I just moved with Gina, whose bus is also here, to the new lot. And I have no clue where my camera is. I have no clue where my tools are. They are somewhere in one of these buses. We just threw everything in and moved. We even just like took all the tools and they're just like thrown here. That's not junk, that's just disorganized mess. But this is literally the first moment we're on the lot, first time the buses are on the lot. We have no clue what we're doing. It's just day one. I think tomorrow we're gonna be cutting some of this so we can get the buses parked somewhere here. This is, yeah, just we have no clue. Don't ask us, but day one, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, Dale already like kind of...
Why are you still filming?
Yeah, it's already started. It's already started. This lot was just not really used for a few years, so just the ground grew up, the bushes grew up, the dirt piles grew over, The metal just kind of sunk away into the bushes and it just kind of was forgotten for a little bit. So when I showed up, it just was an absolute mess. Like, yeah, mess. I think pretty much within the first 2 days, we gutted the entire inside of the barn of what was still left. All the garbage was cleaned up. We just started grabbing brush piles and trees and whatever we could, and literally just trying to get some sense of organization going on. It's day 2. I still have not found my camera, my typical filming camera, so we're just still stuck with the iPhone. Hopefully this will go as good as possible. Today, I've already done a whole bunch cleaning up. I raked this whole side. This place used to be like packed to the top with stuff when I first looked at it, and now it's like just got junk on the ground. Left a bunch of stuff over here and whatnot, so we just got to get this whole thing cleaned out. We've got the truck finally inside, so we can load it a lot easier, and the outside is just a bunch of rigs and buses, and yeah, hopefully we find the camera soon. Dale, you're not slacking very well.
I'm fixing to. It's time for a break. Where's that damn gator?
As we usually say it's called clown shoes around here. That was Gina's phrase. We decided now it's just as crazy as duck feet. We're just all over the place. And somewhat, I still feel like we're kind of in that stage at this point, but you know, we're a lot farther ahead than we were just before. All right, we got all the rigs out front. We're at the point where we want to start cleaning up. Dale and I, mostly Dale, cleaned out that entire section back there in a field. Rachel and I cleaned the barn out. Tried to get it as clean as possible just to get something started here. Once we got the place, we'll say cleaned up enough, we had to get kind of the aesthetics kind of figured out, because this door, if you see the previous photo, was pretty much peeled paint. Used to be red, now it is black. The electrical box, we got our internet now. Painted this door black, and then Rachel and I spent quite a bit of time sanding out these old windows. I believe these are still original, but we sanded them all out and painted all the windows black just to give the place a new freshed up look. Door is primed, welded. It's not perfect, but Dale's got us a street sign going up so we can start getting deliveries. Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome.
He's such an artist.
Yeah, this is gonna look like a backwoods sign.
Also, you know, I mean, just with all the other changes that have been going on around here, we figured, you know, let's just update the space just a little bit. You know, the barn is 1959, so I mean, it's pretty impressive that it's still kind of holding up so well. There are some damages to it on the side, and some of the metal's a little messed up, but it's nothing, honestly, we can't deal with. You know, over time, projects take a while, and we'll eventually get to them, but real happy that these things got done. So now, I know I mentioned before that we had 4,000 pounds of metal, but what I failed to mention was that in that metal, there was also like 20-something tires. And all these tires I can't recycle or bring to the metal yard unless I break them apart. So we spent quite a few days, Dale and I, just breaking out the rings, taking the lock rings off, trying to get them all just broken apart. I think we got half of them done so far. And then honestly, these are all sitting here because we just decided to just give up. I mean, honestly, it was just so heavy. We just decided, you know what? Just wait till the temperature goes down. September, October, November, almost here. Maybe the snow will bury them before we get back to it. Well, half the tires are loaded. We gotta still break all those apart. It's just one of those jobs that we are obviously just not finished with. With getting rid of the metal and getting rid of half the tires, it did get the lot, you know, cleaned up a good bit. We've now got a nice little gate up front. We've got a good area over here, good parking areas over here, good parking areas over here. So, you know, things are starting to move forward. We don't have an office space. Obviously, I found my camera that I lost. Got all my camera stuff, computer stuff, YouTube stuff right here. We've been on the shop lot for, you know, probably 2 weeks now, but we're finally getting back to office type stuff, work type stuff, building type stuff. And what we need to do is take all the scrap milled wood from Dale's bus and my dad's garage, build out a platform inside the shop where we can kind of get something that resembles an office platform. The barn currently has a dirt floor. We're gonna eventually have to put concrete in here, but for now, we're just gonna build a platform and try to make a little office area, work area. So we've got our kind of 2x4s, but these are true 2x4s. This is all milled dimensional, or not like Home Depot dimensional, where like a 2x4 is actually 3.5 by whatever. These are actually 2" by 4". So it's kind of nice to be working with more sturdy lumber, old lumber, tight grain. It's definitely working out a lot better, but we're gonna try to get the thing just kind of put together, and Dale's not slacking at all, by the way, just so everyone knows. He needs to go back to supervisor mode.
Hey, give it 5 minutes, all right?
It's our wood pick pile. I vote we find the widest ones possible because that means we got to put the least amount down.
I would say let's use up a bunch of this short stuff on top just to get it out of the way, because we're gonna have to keep moving it to get to the longer ones. And like we already discussed, it doesn't have to be full 12-foot length. We can make it whatever.
Board number 1. It's also going to be the board that gives us good square edges. And way later in the future, we finally got the office completely done at this point. Boards are all down. We took a rug that we found, old furniture, got my office space, my cabinets, all that kind of stuff, all of our whiteboards. So we got a little space started back here in the barn. You know, it is what it is for now. Eventually, hopefully we can get walls up here or something and just keep kind of going. But you know, you just got to work with what you got. One of the next big tasks of the entire kind of property surveying, trying to figure out space, shop, everything, was Dale and myself. I don't see where Dale is right now, but Dale and myself and my sister, we had to go kind of out and find all the old survey marks for this property. We wanted to figure out some distances and some spacing so we can figure out exactly where we're able to park buses, kind of where we're able to pull dirt from and move rocks to. So we went on a little bit of an adventure to try to get a road cut in, or a path cut in, where we can start to just explore the property just a little bit more. The goal of the moment is we're trying to find survey stakes today and trying to identify exactly the border of the property. It was previously surveyed, so I got the surveyor to send me over the map that was done so we can find all the different, you know, points and things, because we want to be able to cut a bit of a road through, but we want it to be somewhat centered on the lot, and we want it to be on higher, good ground. So we're just trying to get our bearing points. Right there, we've got a red pipe, an iron pipe, and then over here, we've got some survey spots, and then you probably can't see it on video, but I can see like 4 different pink mark flags heading straight down. So we're trying to identify these on the map, figure out where it is, and then work our way back towards the buses. So hopefully we get Dale back, because he's still... Dale, you stuck again? Oh, he's just sitting. He's just taking a break.
Top of my boot, Mike.
Dale.
Hey.
This is not a drill, man. What happened?
It's a little swampier back here than I originally anticipated. And the fact is, I could probably get, you know, I was telling you the other night I was having trouble getting my boots off.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have a bit of trouble at this point.
You're a little stuck?
Just a little bit.
Here, there's a stick. See that? If you could put, that might not be strong enough, but try to. That's why you need muck boots, Dale.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's really that suction. Oh, geez. Nope, he's free.
One is.
Oh, one is free.
I've had that one free before.
Well, don't put that one back in.
Well, but it's like, where the hell am I gonna? You see how short these little bastards are? Well, they can only go so far away from that hole.
All right, there's a good mound right here. I'll step off.
Yeah, now if I can get this other one back out.
All right, this is the path that we're cutting. We're just trying to get it to a walking path. This will hopefully eventually become a road, specifically a road that can handle like 20,000 pounds, because then buses can drive down it. But this is just, you know, just the start. You gotta start somewhere, right? Rachel! Yes! Gosh,
I'm so tired.
that was 1,000 feet.
That was only 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet that direction.
That's it?
Yeah, I know, I'm dead. Let's go get
Oh
water.
my God.
Jump in a lake.
Yes.
We found most of our survey stakes. We also, because of that, found our water meter, which gives us water into the lot. We can get it turned off and on. We've got all our lines right here for our water main. And then if you look right next to the van, we've got our front stake mark, which also gives us, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there's another ribbon right there. So now we've got, all the buses are parked. We know what the lot looks like. We've got most of the stuff cleaned up. Most of, not really. There's always stuff to clean up. But then the real fun part starts, where we go from pretty much just having a dirt mess that we can't do much with to having a real new fun machine show up that is going to dramatically change the next following weeks leading up until about today. We just got a new toy to play around with. We got to get a lot of buses and rigs parked in this lot. It's not a very level lot. I haven't used one of these big backhoes in quite some time, so it takes a lot of muscle memory to remember all of it. But I've got all these huge dirt berms over here, and I want to get rid of them and flatten it out, because that's like, everything around here is just how many buses can we fit. So like, you know, if you're not familiar with the size of buses, I'm gonna go with like Navi's 37 feet. So right there, that's like 4 buses could park there. So like, we need to clear it. And over here, there's like probably at least 7 buses that could fit there. So like, we gotta clear it. We're gonna be messing around with this backhoe here, seeing what we can do. Luckily, I got the supervisor who's gonna be able to kind of keep us all in line. Day 1 of tractor time complete. I've got this area cleared next to Navi, which is kind of a flat spot now. Gets us back into the backfield pretty cleanly. I still have to level all this junk out here. Got the barn. I gotta level this pile out over here. We got this filled with dirt. This is really a big area that I want to get done first, because this is like, you got the driveway in, but then you got this big open pad right by the road, and I feel like that's a really good spot to level out, and then that's like good like parking spots at least. So the faster I get that done, I feel like the better. This I would like to get done as fast as possible, because Dale and I just realized we have a problem. Thankfully have this wonderful backhoe now that will allow us to move a whole bunch of stuff and get this whole project moving a bit faster. But we ran into a problem, and that problem is that this pile of dirt right here is actually a pile of rocks. And I can't take those rocks and put them over there to level, because we can't break them up and they're not gonna bury well. So we gotta like find somewhere to put these that aren't gonna be in the way. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out though. I'm liking the idea of dumping them in the field. But once we get this thing all leveled, we kind of get this initial like moved in internet, electric, water, yard work and stuff like that. Then the plan is to get started on all these rigs that are just scattered around the property, and there's 2 in the barn. Yeah, we'll eventually get back to projects, but right now we've got tires, metal, backhoe, land, and we still don't have internet. We just found the camera, and we just got our electric meter like yesterday. So electric meter, one step at a time. What's your opinion?
Another day in paradise, folks. It's gonna be a long, slow process, but we'll get it done eventually.
This is heavy equipment now.
Uncharted territory.
Am I a full-grown man yet?
No.
Oh.
2 years after I die, you still won't be a full-grown man.
Oh, man! All right, first task of the day is gonna be trying to get these rims split apart. We've got to get these rims pressed out. We've been doing it with a sledgehammer. There were about 15. Now we've got 5 left. But since we have the backhoe now, we're thinking it might be a possibility to take the backhoe and try to just press the ring out rather than using the sledgehammer. It's worth a shot. Have no clue if it's gonna work, but if we can get rid of these tires, that would be great, because we need to get rid of them and get rid of the rest of that metal so I can start leveling and grading this section out. So we're gonna see if it works. Got the machine warmed up, got the supervisor on call, so hopefully this goes well.
Just for the record, there's 6 here, Mike.
There's 1 more than I wanted. That totally failed, so plan B is just throw the tires in the bucket and we'll do this another day, but we need them moved anyway. The problem we're having at the moment, we don't know where to put the tires, because we're trying to work everywhere, and if we put them somewhere and then we want to work there, we got to move them again, so it's like trying to be the smartest possible. I think we found a spot down by the road, but I still think it's kind of in the way. We'll figure it out. We're gonna call this level enough for now. And then the plan is I think we're gonna get back here, park them over here where it's somewhat flat, and then I can start working over there where Navi is and try to get that cut and over there and flat, and then I think that's the plan. Honestly, the plan keeps going back and forth. Have a backhoe for one day, flatten some stuff out, and you got yourself a 20,000 pound parking pad. It's getting later in the day, and there's one thing I've learned about using a backhoe is that pretty much you spend your entire day moving piles of dirt around, and somehow at the end of the day, everything just looks way worse. I mean, it's flatter, but it's just like everything's mud now. I don't know, this is definitely gonna be one of those things that just takes days and days and days. We started burying some stuff, some rocks and junk that has just been, we just don't know what to do with them. We got this whole pile seems to be rocks. This whole pile here seems to be dirt. And then we just started clearing over there in the front, just trying to get this just cleaned up a bit. We got 4 buses parked right over here without it being perfectly level out towards the road. And then we got the back section going, but it's just surprising how much work it is when you're using a backhoe to move all this dirt, and I'm actually tired. You know, this is probably already a couple thousand loads of a wheelbarrow and a shovel, so I'm just gonna be thankful that the backhoe's here right now. Well, tractor broke down, hydraulic line went. And at this point, Dale and I are just hanging out here in front of the shop, waiting for Jeet to show up. Jeet's one of our good friends from Patreon. He's got a bus. Well, he's got a bus, but he's building it out. It's just a metal shell. But he's coming up here just to hang out. He's, I think, officially the first person who's coming up to visit just to work on a rig. Like, I think, like, besides, like, you know, you and Gina, but you guys are regulars. This is, like, one of our first new, you know, we've hung out with Jeet before. Jeet's been up here. He was here up in the summer. Or actually earlier summer, but you know, now this is the first time he's bringing his bus. He's gonna stick around for a little bit. So we're just kind of waiting. Should be here in a little bit. He said, I think he came from Virginia. Dale's just eating peanuts.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
I hear the bus, I hear a bus. Dang, look at that thing. It's a speed racer too. My gosh, it's like Ivan, just gray. Hi, Jeet. You better get used to being on camera now that you're here. Hi. Well, so we got Jeet's bus here. We're gonna be working on that throughout the winter. You'll probably be seeing Jeet in a few videos throughout the fall and winter. We got Dale's box truck up here. We're gonna be doing some work on that. We got Ivan, Navi, Dale's bus. I mean, more projects are gonna be rolling in. But yeah, this is kind of what we've been up to. You know, life's definitely been a bit crazy. I do apologize for kind of keeping everyone in the dark for quite some time, but I mean, there's just been a lot of moving pieces with, you know, properties and just moving buses and getting back and forth across the country. And then just some projects that came up, like the solar jobs that just kind of took me away for a little bit. But you guys can all look forward now. We have this property. We're gonna be doing some fun stuff here. We're gonna be doing a lot of fun projects into the winter. The barn is currently heated by wood, so we're gonna be splitting a whole bunch of wood until we get some other form of heat in here. Yeah, I hope this was a really good update. You know, answered a lot of the questions I know that a lot of people are asking out there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. I'm really excited about the future and sharing the adventures of what happens on this lot and the projects we get involved in. So, well, like I said, for all of you who've been around here for a long time, I'm glad to be back. And for all you new subscribers, welcome, and we'll see you next time.